How often do you wake up and despite the fact that everything seems to be fine, you immediately feel bad? Anxiety rolls over. You feel lousy for no apparent reason. Along with this, you lose interest, experience apathy and much more. If so, then you're in the right video, because I went through the same thing and will try to help you. I recently studied addictions and came to the feeling that phone and social network addictions are no different from alcohol or drug addictions. But it's not as obvious as it seems. We spend all day consuming. We wake up consuming, we walk all day and consume, and fall asleep also consuming information. If Tyler Durden was talking about the consumption of material things, then today we find ourselves in a world where we engage in the endless consumption of virtual things. A person who lives this way of life constantly loses his time. TikTok, YouTube, all this can steal the whole day at lightning speed. You can live like this day after day, but the pleasure from it will become less and less. The main difference from drug addiction is that you can't increase the dose. It's already maximum. Your whole day. You have no more time. Because of this, all the dreams of the goals are postponed. This leads to depression. It takes your life like a snowball and you feel lousy because of many factors. At some point I decided that was enough. I'll tell you my little story. I was also immersed in all these addictions and decided to make a challenge. A challenge of complete rejection of all these addictions for one day. Dopamine fasting. I woke up and automatically reached for the phone. What was going on in the world? Who posted what? And so on. But I stopped myself. After that I went to eat. Cooked food and sat down to eat. I'm used to eating and watching something. But this time I did it in silence. And at that moment I realized that everything had started to change. As you know, we all have an inner voice that analyzes everything, gives some ideas, and in principle is the engine of progress. But at that moment I realized that I hadn't heard it for a long time. All this shit silences it. Instead of listening to yourself, you constantly listen to someone else. You don't give yourself time to hear the inner voice. You don't create such conditions. You're just drawing out your voice with nonsense. Now I understand why I stopped reading books. Every time I sat down and couldn't focus. But this also became clear. We're just used to a more active consumption of information. It's more fun. TikTok, YouTube and so on. But as soon as you limit it, focusing becomes much easier. After that, I continued this challenge until now. I added 2 hours at the end of the day to watch everything I would like during the day. And this is quite enough. But most importantly, it improved my efficiency. Do you know this? Procrastination? This is all far-fetched shit. Get YouTube, TikToks and other shit out of your life and just sit down at the table. But don't force yourself to work. Just sit down. An hour will pass. 2 will pass, and eventually due to the lack of alternative you will start working. You will want to act. You'll start looking for fun in your work, not somewhere else. Summing up this video, I recommend you to try my challenge. Give up all your addictions for one single day and try to hear yourself. Write your result in the comments.